My name's David Pomfret, and I used to own Fahey Pest and Lawn Solutions here in Sarasota, Florida, and owned it for 27 years. And this is my wife, Terry, and she's been with me since 1996 in the business until the day we sold it in 2021. I met my wife, Terry, in a bar. Yeah, never thought I'd meet the girl I would marry in a bar, but at the time,
I was a bartender.
I was a bartender. Yep. We just started hitting it off right there. I'd slide her some drinks, you know, and she'd bring her friends who dutifully followed her every week. And finally, they were so glad that we started dating that they didn't have to follow her every week to Bennigan's for happy hour.
I went in with my son, Kyle, who was 1 at the time. And so he was bartending that day. And so I walked up to the bar with Kyle on my hip and figured, well, better time than this is it. This is a big time. So he immediately got Kyle's heart, and they were best friends ever since.
Yeah. Well, we met in college at a bar. Seems to be a reoccurring theme. I started working at Bonefish Grill, which is a restaurant in Orlando, and he was my trainer. And he kept trying to get me to go out with him, and wouldn't do it, and then finally he broke me down, and we've pretty much been together ever since.
Won't let her go.
My dad actually went to work for Tom Fahey probably in the mid-60s. I think he bought it in 1965 until about 1993, and that's when I bought it. I was so happy to have the opportunity to buy the company, and I said, what do I need to do to give you a down payment or anything? He says, $2,000 of your money. So we scraped it together and gave it to my dad. And that was everything we had, savings and everything. And we signed the paperwork. He says, this business will take care of you if you take care of your customers and you take care of your employees, and the business cannot fail. It was great advice. It was great advice, and that's what I tried to do, taking my ideas and my philosophy in running a business and moving forward with it.
David was the president of our state association. The headquarters was in Orlando. So we were going over for a meeting. After the board meeting, we said, well, let's have Kyle for dinner. During dinner, he just kind of said, so what do you think about me coming into the business? And we were just kind of shocked because he really hadn't indicated anything, before. He'd worked during the summers and stuff. We knew we could work together. Obviously, we had done it for years. We just wanted to be sure that we could work with him also in the business because, family was most important to us. And then Hilary came into the business. And so that, that was another challenge. We wanted to make sure that all 4 of us could work together because that's kind of different.
We all get along well together. We hang out, we have some drinks. We are super open. I tell them things that are probably not appropriate, that they don't really want to know.
The only ones that bumped head was me and Mom.
Yeah, exactly.
Me and Mom are stubborn. Yeah. So we would get in arguments.
There was only a couple epic battles.
But there was only a couple.
It was for you to allow us to take American Express.
And I finally acquiesced.
Because we had a customer that called in and said, let me get this straight. You, my dry cleaner, and the Chinese food restaurant are the only people that take my American Express? Got it, okay. I was like, Ma, you want to be the dry cleaner and the Chinese food place? I was right.
You were right.
Yeah, you were.
It's on film. It's on film.
They took right to it, and they knew what they were doing. They learned from it.
So eventually, after several years of them being there, we started staying away on vacations a little bit longer. And they did great.
We always thought we were going to buy the business. That was the plan. Very similar to the way Dad bought the business from his dad. But the reality is, it's not the 90s anymore. People offer way more money than what they did back then. To buy the business nowadays in the same fashion, I'd bankrupt a company trying to pay Dad what he should get for that company. And it would take 20 years instead of now.
We sat down as a family and we made that decision. that it was time to sell, and everybody was on board. In the end, it benefited us all. So it worked out really good.
I think so.
After we had sold the business, Dad had said something to the effect of this tremendous weight was off his shoulders. Ultimately, the weight of the business and the liability landed on their shoulders. It was kind of nice to hear. It was like he had this like relief, you know, that I didn't even realize he had. He never showed it, but he had it. So it was kind of cool to hear.
Dealing with Paul and Franco, I mean, they knew who the players were that were looking for good, well-run companies. And just talking with them gave me a lot more confidence in knowing that, hey, I think we're going to do okay.
We felt really comfortable with Paul and Franco. I mean, they made it, they actually almost
Made it fun. Yeah.
You know, they were fun to work with. We felt really comfortable that they had our best interests in mind, more so than anything.
And they fought for us.
Yeah, they did.
They weren't going to back down either. So no, you don't be happy with that. We'll keep pushing.
Going.
I said, go for it.
And
go
they did.
for it. And they did.
Yeah, they were great to work with.
There was some party going on in our neighborhood here at some time, and we got the phone call from Franco and Paul, and with the final offer, and we just looked at each other and we said, we did it. You know, we made it.
Yeah.
And hey, we can go and enjoy some things, do our traveling, which we always talked about, you know, traveling, visiting Europe, and just doing these road trips in our motorhome. I continue doing that. So that was just a very happy moment. Very happy moment.
It was.